Welcome to this video. Hey guys, that's my impression of Chessexplained, who I am playing here, and probably gonna get creamed. Oh, I get the white pieces, so I should probably go ahead and move. So yeah, I've been watching Chessexplained for years, and so when I started doing these videos myself, I sent him a message and asked if he would be willing to play, and graciously he accepted. I'm not even a little bit surprised he's playing the Nimzo. He recently wrote released a book on the Nimzo repertoire for the Bogo and the Nimzo-Indian. So I guess I should not have been not been at all surprised that he chose to go this way. So we retreat all the way back to f8. I don't think I've really seen this before. I suppose, clearly he must be going to go for an e5 push. I suspect. My real goal here is just not to lose immediately and sort of more or less embarrass myself. Make some sort of a game that has some merit. And let's see. So my idea with this knight maneuver here was not just to let my bishop out, but I also want to be able to play e4 at some point. So I'm trying to decide if I should capture. Of course, when he takes back, that opens his rook. So I capture, he takes back with a pawn most likely, and then I'll play bishop d3, get castled. What's he going to do? Is he going to play c5? I think there's a chance he could play c5. That would make quite a bit of sense. And we would probably end up in some sort of an isolated queen pawn position. So before I lose on time, I should probably go ahead and make some moves. Now, if he plays c5 and I just castle, I wonder if there's a chance he's going to play c4. I think there probably is. Okay, so this is his way of preventing a minority attack. He didn't want me to play b4, b5. So maybe that means he might consider playing c6? Or was he... Okay, I'm going to get castled and stop talking and start making moves. I think I still should probably try to go for this e4 idea. Let's put a rook here. And then I think I'll play queen c2 and try to play e4. Because, yeah, I sort of have a more or less standardish looking Queen's Gambit declined exchange. The only problem is I didn't manage to get my bishop outside of the chain here. Let's play here. Glad that I have this b4 square covered. I guess he's going to go knight to c... Yeah, knight c7. And I don't feel like I'm quite ready to play e4 because I'm going to have some problems on d4. How do I deal with the d4 square problems? So e4 takes. I guess I shouldn't be so worried about him capturing here because I'll be able to take on... Yeah, I'll be able to take here on f6, and I think that would probably be okay. Let's just do it. So I think I'll get the pawn back when it's all said and done. So he goes ahead and captures. Let's go this way. Okay. And I'll take with the bishop, although the bishop is going to be pinned now, I realize. So maybe if he captures the pawn... I guess, no, it's not really pinned because I can take here with check. But I definitely got to get this bishop out somewhere. He might play knight d5, just blockade the pawn. I should probably try to figure out some way of attacking f7. That square looks a little bit juicy. Ooh. Yeah, I think that this is going to be... This is a problem. A huge one, in fact. Yeah, this is a big problem. I'm just dropping a piece already. Yeah, this is
time warning.
Sad. Not to mention I'm on time. Yeah, I ended up having huge problems with this bishop. Well, let's try to make the most of it, I guess. I guess we're gonna have to get that bishop out. I was thinking maybe I could capture here and try to do something something. I was thinking maybe something along the lines of maybe his rook is not defended after the queen captures here. But I don't think that's really going to matter because his pawn's in the
Time warning.
Let's go here, I guess. And see if we can try to take this bishop. And yeah, we're going to lift the rook and try to... okay, good. I still have control of f5. Let's see if I can come over here to h4 and see if I can still try to get something resembling an attack. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I think we have to try. Yeah, he more or less is kicking any of those sorts of ideas out of the water. So I guess we're going to play here, and then maybe knight f5 next. No, he says no to that plan. But this is definitely starting to look pretty terrible for me. I don't have a lot that's going to work out for me. I don't want to trade. Maybe this is going to support in knight h5. No, it's not. Or knight f5 maybe is more likely. Either way, I don't see this is going to work. Maybe I can try h4 with my whole 6 seconds that I have left. I suppose I should probably take the knight. No, because then he'll just exchange rooks. And this is probably a bad situation. Well, I mean, it's already a very bad situation, but perhaps it's going to be worse. Let's go and alright, so that was a pretty terrible match. So let's try not to drop a piece so early again. That was pretty awful. So hit him up with the rematch. We're gonna play one more of these, and hopefully this one goes a little bit better.
Game started.
Okay, I think he plays a lot of d4 stuff. Nope, knight f3. So we go knight f6 and see where he wants to go from here. Just go into a Slav setup. And after d4, which he doesn't do, this will come out here. I suppose he doesn't want to go into a mainline Slav, I guess is what he's suggesting. So we get an exchange Slav situation where it looks like queen a5 or bishop b5 both could be quite annoying. Quite annoying. Man, I think I'm just dropping a pawn again already. This is getting to be pretty ridiculous stuff. Wow. Already in big trouble. Already in trouble. Oh, these are not going well for me, guys. Both of these are going to end up being pretty well barn burners. Pretty well barn burners. I don't see that I have anything I can do. I think I just have to go back. And obviously, if you bring your bishop out and then come back with it, you've done something wrong somewhere. I should be aware of this bishop b3 problem, because it's, or the bishop f5 thing, because it's a pretty common motif. So let's come out here. We're going to acquiesce that we're not going to get our bishop out anywhere, and just try to develop seamlessly if possible. We got to figure out what we're going to do about this situation with his queen. Is knight b4 an idea? Knight b4 feels like an idea. Queen c2 doesn't seem appropriate. E5 doesn't seem like a good idea either. Yeah, it looks like he's just going to get the C file, and there doesn't appear to be a whole lot that I can really do about that. But I definitely would like to try to get rid of the light squared bishop, but I don't see how that's going to happen. Okay, I'm down way low on time, so maybe I have to go something like this. Or maybe I just put the bishop on d2. That doesn't seem like such an awful thing. Or d7, rather. I mean, he did it. He put his on d2. Why can't I put mine on d7? And then we'll just try to contest the A file, or the C file, the best we can. Yeah, that looks like a problem, actually. And a pretty sizable one at that. So, I guess we're going to go here. I think he's going to go plant a knight. That seems quite likely. Because when I played a6, I sort of weakened c5 a little bit because b6 got harder to play. I have an idea of playing knight a5 at some point. Yeah. I can't even kick it. I'm not so worried about him taking my light square bishop. It's the
Time warning.
this pawn that I'm worried about. Somehow that feels obligatory, but I don't think it is. I think he has a super strong knight here, and if I were to ever capture, he's just gonna he could probably take with a rook and then double rooks at the very least. And this is my quote unquote good bishop. Maybe I could play bishop to e8 and then knight to d7. I don't know, guys. These have gone extraordinarily poorly for me, but I suppose it makes sense given that he outranks me by almost 1,000 points. I do have the idea of knight a5 and putting my own knight into c4, which might work. He would at least have to maybe put his queen back, because if he wants to have some control over c4. Okay, so he chooses that, and I think that I wanted to play this way if he did that. I think. But if I go here, doesn't that sort of force him to take it and we don't have to worry about it so much? Does he have any other tricks, though? I don't think so. But now knight a5 isn't a possibility, and I'm have to be very careful because it looks like he could play. Yeah, let's get out of that business here. Go put the queen on b6. So I was worried about bishop to b4. Yeah.
Time warning.
Let's go ahead with the queen b6 idea. Capture here. Oh, this is going to drop a pawn because he's going to take with the queen.
Time warning.
We will bring a rook over, so at the very least we can try to get some pressure there against that pawn. This has been pretty one-sided. This has been extraordinarily one-sided. Now he just has to convert this pawn.
Time warning.
Maybe we can go into an opposite color bishop's ending. Let's do this and make sure I don't get the back rank mated anywhere. I'm going to go put the knight on d6. That seems like a pretty decent square. And probably try to trade light squared bishops if I can. Of course, there's a good chance he would try to double rooks here. I'm threatening to win this pawn now. Maybe. I've chose here because I want to defend f2 in case he tries to double along the 7th here. Hey, I'm ahead on time. That's unbelievable. Can I do this? No, I can't. This is tricky. I can't take it because of the... He'll pin my... I think this is bad. Yeah. This is bad. Quite so. I was out of time anyway. I had an instinct that that was probably not the right idea. I think I was really doing okay there for a little bit, but I thought this was a tricky idea of his to do this. Was there something else that I could have done instead? I'm not sure. This is a pretty good place for my knight. Maybe I should have just let this set or something. But it seems like these bishops are really going to do a good job of walking this pawn up the board once he decides it's time to go. But yeah, this was a clever move that he executed. I should have trusted my instinct to realize that that wasn't going to work. Let's see if... we're playing on ICC, which I've never done before. And so I'm not really sure how to use the examine feature, but we're going to give it a go and see what happens. Okay, so we'll go back. And I don't know how to get back to the previous game, so we're not going to be looking at that anymore. So this bishop... Yeah, bishop f5 turned out to be a fairly considerable mistake. Why, though? I guess if I was good... Ordinarily, he would have played d4 and I would have captured here, and the pawn would have temporarily prevented him from... would have temporarily prevented his queen from coming out, which is why you can play bishop f5 in the Slav, but here he can't really do that. Or I can't do that because he just captures the bishop. He didn't lose any time. So I suppose I probably needed to play e6, and then after here, we're just going to play a semi-Slav. Maybe. And I have to wait for him to waste the tempo with his bishop. But that's probably most likely the situation that I should have gone in and not ended up with these problems on the queen side. Just the move order kind of threw me off, and so instead of doing the right thing and trying to think about it, I just sort of went with a standard move and got in a lot of trouble as a result. So after this queen move, I think the only thing that doesn't lose a pawn is just retreating the bishop, which clearly suggests I'm wasting time. I was looking to see if there was something like, there's some way of, there's some lines where you can get some sort of a perpetual check situation here after this, but I didn't quite see anything. So I go here, and then I'm not sure what he's going to do. Let's just make a move. So if he plays something like that, yeah, he's already threatening to take that guy. So I almost have to play... Yeah, I don't like this. I mean, I could bring the bishop back. Yeah, so I couldn't find anything that was satisfying there. So which is why I played bishop to c8. And then here, I've just lost time. Though, I suppose there's an argument to be made that his queen may not be the most amazing on this square. But it caused me some trouble to try to develop my dark square bishop. So maybe something like this might have given me something. Because I don't have this pressure here. Yeah, the pawns are weak. Actually, this square is really weak, so that just looks pretty nice for him. I'd have to drop back. No, I can't even drop back because of the... Yeah, so that's definitely not a time to do that. But I know this is a relatively common idea. I just don't think it works at all here because of just knight b4. But the idea is that you can try to generate some pressure on the a file, and at least my b7 square isn't going to come in under pressure. So some idea like that along the way might have been worth giving a go. Instead, we castled, and then I'm not sure I was a big fan of this move, but I was thinking I needed to play b5 or something to try to get my light bishop out. But maybe here is the right time to do this, because if he captures, and now he goes here. I'm not so worried about c2, so I really can just drop back if I need to. In fact, I'm really not worried about this because I just immediately get a pawn. So maybe some idea like this might have been better. Or even instead of dropping it back, maybe I come out here. And I mean, this is gonna, yeah, this is gonna win a pawn for me too. So if he went this way, I'm sure he would have found something better. But I think that maybe this queen idea of coming out would have uncramped me quite a bit. Because trying to do this just gave him the c6 square. Because this just drops a pawn immediately, I think. I was looking briefly at this, but at the very... Nope, that doesn't work. Maybe this would have been okay. No, because of this knight. Yeah, I can't... he wouldn't even take it. He would just come play this. And this would be absolutely abhorrent. So instead of a6, maybe queen b6 would have been better. So we're doing... Let's see... After b5, where did he win this pawn at? Yeah, queen to b7. Yeah, I was worried that he might play this move immediately. But I can just take it, so it's not such a problem right now. But, or actually, I thought briefly that he might be able to do that, but I think I can just take with the queen and I'm okay. And even if I took with the bishop and he plays this move, it just ends up being just a trade. So, although he's still probably better in that situation because he has a light bishop and so do I, and my pawns are all in light squares. So that's probably not such a amazing situation. So instead we got this. Yeah, here's where I lost the pawn. Why can't I take? I take and say he goes like this. He's probably going to win this pawn anyway, and he's starting to exert quite a bit against this guy. But I don't see an immediate way for him to win the pawn. Well, he has knight e5 coming at some point too, which looks pretty awful. Okay, so, but I think, even though I was down a pawn, I think I was still doing okay-ish. Maybe I shouldn't have given up the a file. It's not like doubling rooks is going to ever win this pawn because the bishop's holding it. So maybe better was to play like this. I mean, because if he captures, then this pawn becomes more of a liability, so he's probably not going to do that. I doubt he wants to give up his light squared bishop, so that sort of suggests maybe this square. But I would just go try and... yeah, I can get away with that because of this. This actually is quite good for me, I think. So maybe something along these lines and trying to trade off this light squared bishop would have been more appropriate. So we took... I somehow didn't care for this because this means my knight has to come back here. Or, yeah, I can't go here because he captures when I take back, this guy hangs. So I didn't like this, especially since it kind of gives his bishop some additional scope. So we went here, we dropped back. Yeah, he clearly doesn't want to trade his light square bishop. Maybe. So he ended up having problems with the ace. He ended up using the a8 square, so maybe this was a better idea. Because he can't do that now. Which means he's got to figure out some other way of protecting this pawn. I suppose he could just advance it, right? I suppose he could just advance it. Wait, was this guy overhanging there? No, it was not. Too bad there's not some sort of not some way to discover I could have won the pawn outright. It's a shame. Ooh, wait. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, after here, it's just annoying. Because, I mean, if I capture, I have this problem to deal with. And this bishop is just sort of ugly. Anyway, fun games. I got manhandled both times. It was almost a worst case scenario there for me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was fun. This was a dual commentary, so that means that Chess Explained is going to have his own analysis on his channel. So make sure you guys check that out, okay? Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. I had fun. Check y'all later.